Number 10. Magi, Sinbad no Boken, TV. Genres: action, adventure, fantasy, magic, shonen. In the small, impoverished Tyson village of the Parthevia Empire, a boy, Sinbad, is born to the jaded ex-soldier Badir and his kind-hearted wife Ezra. His birth creates a radiant surge throughout the Rook, a declaration of a singularity to those who stand at the pinnacle of magical might. The child of destiny is here. Despite his country being plagued by economic instability and the repercussions of war, Sinbad leads a cheerful life, until a stranger's arrival shatters his peaceful world and tragedy soon befalls him. Years later, mysterious edifices called dungeons have been erected all over the world. Rumored to contain great power and treasures, these dungeons pique the interest of adventurers and armies alike, though to this day, none have returned therefrom. Sinbad, now 14, has grown into a charming and talented young boy. Inspired by the shocking events of his childhood and by his father's words, he yearned to begin exploring the world beyond his village. As though orchestrated by fate, Sinbad meets an enigmatic traveler named Yunan. Stirred by Sinbad's story and ambitions, Yunan directs him to a dungeon which he claims holds the power Sinbad needs to achieve his goals. The power of a king. Magi, Sinbad no Boken tells the epic saga of Sinbad's early life as he travels the world, honing his skills and influence while gathering allies and power to become the High King of the Seven Seas. Hitsugi no Chaika. For 500 years, the taboo emperor, Arthur Gaz, ruled the Gaz Empire with an iron fist and conducted inhumane experiments on his own people. But his reign came to an end 5 years ago when mighty warriors, later known as the Eight Heroes, defeated him in a battle for the capital. His death ended the 300-year-long war between the Gaz Empire and the Alliance of Six Nations. In the present day, Toru Akira is a former saboteur from the war who has difficulty settling into a peaceful world as he cannot find a job where he can put his fighting skills to use. An opportunity appears before him, however, when he meets a white-haired wizard named Chaika Trabant. With a coffin on her back, she is searching for the scattered remains of her father in order to give him a proper burial, and she hires Toru and her adopted sister Akira to help her. However, the Six Nations Alliance, which has now formed the Council of Six Nations, dispatches Alberic Gillette and his men from the Kleeman Agency to pursue and apprehend the late Emperor Gaz's daughter, Chaika. With the shocking revelation of Chaika's identity, the Akira siblings must choose between helping her gather the remains of the tyrannical emperor and upholding the peace the continent strives to maintain. Helsing Ultimate. There exist creatures of darkness and evil that plague the night, devouring any human unfortunate enough to be caught in their grasp. On the other side is Helsing, an organization dedicated to destroying these supernatural forces that threaten the very existence of humanity. At its head is Integra Fairbrook Wingate Helsing, who commands a powerful military and spends her life fighting the undead. Integra's vast army, however, pales in comparison with her ultimate weapon, the vampire Alucard, who works against his own kind as an exterminator for Helsing. With his new vampire servant, Sarah's Victoria at his side, Alucard must not only battle monsters, but all those who stand to oppose Helsing, be they guys of good or evil. In a battle for mankind's survival, Helsing Ultimate proves that appearances are not all they may seem, and sometimes the greatest weapons can come in the form of one's worst nightmare. Charlotte. While on the surface, Yu Otasaka appears to be just another charming and intelligent teenager, he has a secret. He has the ability to slip into people's minds and fully control their bodies for 5 seconds at a time. Yu has been using this skill for years to gain the highest grades, which allowed him to enter a prestigious high school. When the enigmatic Naotamari catches Yu using his power, she coerces him and his sister Ayumi to transfer him to the Hoshinomi Academy, a school for students with supernatural abilities. The student council of the school, led by Nao, is tasked with secretly tracking down adolescents who abuse their powers. Yu is forced to join the student council, and together they face formidable challenges that bring him closer to the shocking truth that is his own seemingly incomplete ability might be more powerful than he could have ever imagined. Midaka Box. Midaka Kurokami is, in the true sense of the word, perfect. Beautiful, intelligent, and athletic, Midaka's dream is to make others happy. So, when she runs for student council president of the prestigious Hakuniwa Academy, winning the election with 98% of the votes is only to be expected. The very first thing the boisterous new president does is to set up the Medaka Box, a suggestion box allowing students to submit any kind of request for assistance. Together with the cynical Zenkichi Hisayoshi, her childhood friend who has been strong-armed into helping, Medaka fulfills these requests at a ridiculous rate. For every job completed, she adds flowers to the student council room, with the aim of filling the entire school. However, the two are about to find out that helping others may be a lot harder than they think as they begin to uncover a devastating plan centering on the academy and even Medaka herself. Tensei Shitara Slime Data Ken second season. 37-year-old Satoru Mikami is a typical corporate worker who is perfectly content with his monotonous lifestyle in Tokyo, other than failing to nail down a girlfriend even once throughout his entire life. In the midst of a casual encounter with his colleague, he falls victim to a random assailant on the streets and is stabbed. However, while succumbing to his injuries, a peculiar voice echoes in his mind and recites a bunch of commands which the dying man cannot make sense of. When Satoru regains consciousness, he discovers that he has reincarnated as a goop of slime in an unfamiliar realm. In doing so, he acquires newfound skills, notably the power to devour anything and mimic its appearance and abilities. He then stumbles upon the sealed catastrophe-level monster, Storm Dragon Veldora, who has been sealed away for the past 300 years for devastating a town to ashes. Sympathetic to his predicament, Satoru befriends him, promising to assist in destroying the seal. In return, Veldora bestows upon him the name Rimuru Tempest to grant him divine protection. Now liberated from the mundanities of his past life, Rimuru embarks on a fresh journey with a distinct goal in mind. As he grows accustomed to his new physique, his gooey antics ripple throughout the world, gradually altering his fate. Mob Psycho 100. Genres: action, slice of life, comedy, supernatural. 8th grader Shigeu Mob Kageyama has tapped into his inner wellspring of psychic prowess at a young age. But the power quickly proves to be a liability when he realizes the potential danger in his skills. Choosing to suppress his powers, Mob's only present use for his ability is to impress his longtime crush, Tsubomi, who soon grows bored of the same tricks. In order to effectuate control on his skills, Mob enlists himself under the wing of Arataka Reagan, a con artist claiming to be a psychic, who exploits Mob's powers for pocket change. Now, exorcising evil spirits on command has become part of Mob's daily, monotonous life. However, the psychic energy he exerts is barely the tip of the iceberg. If his vast potential and unrestrained emotion run berserk, a cataclysmic event that would render him completely unrecognizable will be triggered. The progression towards Mob's explosion is rising, and attempting to stop it is futile. Overlord. The final hour of the popular virtual reality game Gigadrazzle has come. However, Mamanga, a powerful wizard and master of the Dark Guild Ainzul Gown, decides to spend his last few moments in the game as the servers begin to shut down. To his surprise, despite the clock having struck midnight, Mamanga is still fully conscious as his character, and moreover, the non-player characters appear to have developed personalities of their own. Confronted with this abnormal situation, Mamanga commands his loyal servants to help him investigate and take control of this new world, with the hopes of figuring out what has caused this development and if there may be others in the same predicament. Anatsu Kyoshitsu. When a mysterious creature chops the moon down to a permanent crescent, the students of Class 3E at Kunigigaoka Middle School find themselves confronted with an enormous task. Assassinate the creature responsible for the disaster before Earth suffers a similar fate. However, the monster dubbed Korosensei, the indestructible teacher, is able to fly at speeds of up to Mach 20, which he demonstrates freely, leaving any attempts to subdue him in extraterrestrial dust. Furthermore, the misfits of 3E soon find out that the strange tentacled beast is more than just indomitable. He's the best teacher they ever had. Adapted from the humorous hit manga by Yusei Matsui, Ansatsu Kyoshitsu tells the story of these junior high pupils as they polish their assassination skills and grow in order to stand strong against the oppressive school system, their own life problems, and one day Korosensei. One Punch Man. Genres: action, sci-fi, comedy, Parody, superpower, supernatural. The seemingly ordinary and unimpressive Saitama has a rather unique hobby, being a hero. In order to pursue his childhood dream, he trained relentlessly for 3 years, and lost all of his hair in the process. Now, Saitama is incredibly powerful, so much so that no enemy is able to defeat him in battle. In fact, all it takes to defeat evildoers with just one punch has led to an unexpected problem. He is no longer able to enjoy the thrill of battling, and has become quite bored. This all changes with the arrival of Genos, a 19-year-old cyborg who wishes to become Saitama's disciple after seeing what he is capable of. Genos proposes that the two join the Hero Association in order to become certified heroes that will be recognized for their positive contributions to society. And Saitama, shocked that no one knows who he is, quickly agrees. And thus begins the story of One Punch Man, an action comedy that follows an eccentric individual who longs to fight strong enemies that can hopefully give him the excitement he once felt. And just maybe he'll become popular in the process.